In modern times, many question God's existence and find it's hard to prove his existence. We cannot see him or touch him, even cannot find his works in our times. We just wonder why our forefathers all claimed he is real. Were they deluded or fooled as the knowledge of science was poor in their times? We are enlightened by science and no longer superstitious. We are smart and wise, so that no one can fool us with such kind of superstition. Really? We do not believe God's existence. We just only believe in ourselves. We only believe in science, in technology. We do not believe Bible or God, this old stuff. But when we are proud of our achievements in science and technology, we still feel something is not certain. We are liberated from the superstitions by rationale and independent thinking. So we should be happier than our forefathers, as technology makes material abundant. Science and technology have promised us a bright future, but actually we find no such bright future at all. Why? Why are we far away from peace? Why do we enjoy something like power, wealth, pleasure, etc., anything in such a short time we enjoy them? Then we will finally find them all are meaningless, but vanity and vanity, all are vanity. We are restless and suffering day and night. Science do not bring to us happiness. Though we are enlightened by rationale, we live in darkness. We have no identity, no purpose in our life, no hope, no future. What's wrong with us? Science and technology can give no answer to this question. Science tells us there's no God. We cannot trust in science. That's why we ask the question, do God really exist? So we want to seek out the truth because we are restless, we are hopeless, and we want to find true peace and true happiness. So we come to this question. Science tells us the universe is not created by God, and they also tell us we are evolved from nothing. We are evolved into our present state. Really? Let's come to it and earnestly think about it. It is easy to understand that chess could not accidentally self-organize itself into a computer in 1 year, in 2 years, or in many years. No matter how long, chess always is chess. It cannot self-organize itself into a computer. If somebody tells us that his computer comes from evolution of chess through billions years or trillions years, we know this person is a lie. Such a delicate universe, wonderful, organized, so wonderful universe. How can we put credit to the theory that the universe is self-organized from basic or fundamental physical particles through trillions years, and no mention in universe there are creatures and plants, everything. So every kind of creature have specific and stable genes. Can they come from basic or fundamental physical particles through trillion years? Just like a chess organizing itself into a computer, we cannot put credit to this theory. it is more easy to accept that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God showed himself by Bible. Bible is the letters God sent to us. We want to know God, we must read Bible. What do Bible tell us about God? First, it tells us God is an everlasting God. He created heaven and earth. He is God of Abraham. He is God of Isaac. He is God of Jacob. He is God of Israel people. He is God of us. He is everlasting God. Bible also tells us God created all in the universe. We already saw the universe is impossible to be evoluted into its present state. Evolution origin of universe is not acceptable. We are more easily accept that God created universe. And God created universe, but also created all in the universe. And also God made the law for all in the universe. Whether star, whether sun, moon, they all obey the law God made for them. Today we just want to see God created all in the universe, and God made the laws for all in the universe. Let's begin to see the creation of the universe and all in the universe. Bible also tells us we can perceive God's everlasting power and divinity by His creation.
For His invisible attributes, namely His eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse.
This so, if we meditate the universe and all things in the universe, we will find God, and we can have no excuse to deny His divinity and His everlasting power. Let's listen to the Genesis chapter 1.
And God said,
Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind on the earth.
And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said,
Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens.
So God created the great sea creatures, and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying,
Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth.
And God said,
Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds.
And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the livestock according to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind.
From Genesis chapter 1, we know God created the universe and all kinds of creatures. God ordered every kind of creature after their own kind. This is the law. Every creature should keep the law. Except man. Every creature keeps the laws and never breaks this law for convenience or break the law because of danger or difficulty. For example, sea turtle lay eggs in beach sand, though they live their entire life in sea. It's a dangerous journey for their new baby to go back to sea from the beach. Why don't they adapt themselves to lay eggs in sea, just like common fish? Most stranger is the salmon, who go upstream to their birthplace to lay their eggs. Many of salmon died on their way upstream to their birthplace. Why they refuse to adapt to their environment? Evolution cannot explain. They are stupid and refuse to adapt it to their environment. All these seemingly stupid creatures show their creator God's power and everlasting divinity. The salmon show their obedience to the laws by going upstream journey. Some even lost their life in the journey, but they never gave up. They struggle. They strive to their birthplace for lay eggs. That's a good example that all creatures except man not only obey the law God gave them, also enjoy them. Like Bible said, the stork in the heavens knows their appointed times, and the turtle dove and the swallow and the crane observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the law of God. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 7. The heaven declare the glory of God, and every day and night sow knowledge upon God. Though there is no speech, no language, their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. Let's carefully observe the world and find God's everlasting power and divinity. God bless all.